This week, Pope Francis marks 10 years as head of the Catholic Church, and he is making headlines for suggesting the Church could review a long-held rule requiring Roman Catholic priests to be celibate. In an interview, the Pope said, quote, "There is no contradiction for a priest to marry. Celibacy in the Western Church is a temporary prescription. I do not know if it is settled in one way or another, but it is temporary in this sense." We welcome in Father Aquinas Guilbeau. He's a campus chaplain and director of campus ministry at the Catholic University of America. Good morning, Father. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So the vow of celibacy has been around since the 11th century. And back in 2019,
That's right.
Pope Francis called celibacy a gift to the church. What do you make of these more recent comments that, well, hey, maybe it's just temporary?
Well, that's an interesting way for him to put it. In the Spanish, I'm not sure if that term has some kind of nuance, but if you put those two statements together, the one that he had in 2019 and the ones he just gave to an Argentine newspaper outlet, that we can really see that there's no contradiction between the two. What Pope Francis was saying in response to the journalist's question was, given the shortage of priests in the world, would it be good to allow priests to marry? The Pope said, look, we know that married priest is a possibility. The church has had married priests before. It's the experience of Eastern Christianity. It's not been the experience in the West, but he says it's probably not a prescription for success to relax the discipline of celibacy, because we don't see in communities that do have married clergy or married priests any kind of increase. So really, the Pope was just stating what we already know, that the discipline of celibacy is not, let's say, essential to the priesthood, but it's a treasured gift. It's a treasured tradition in Western Christianity. And in a separate interview that he gave to a Brazilian newspaper just a day or so later, the Pope said that he himself is not open to considering the question or opening the question up for debate.
I see. So well, do you think that your fellow priests would be interested in being married, like priests going on dates, getting married, having wives there during Mass? It sort of blows my mind.
Well, it sounds provocative, right? And does, spark the imagination. But I think the priests that I know, the priests that I studied with, the priests I was ordained, and the ones that I served with, really do treasure the celibate life, really seeing it as a way of, insofar as we've been ordained to continue the ministry of Jesus Christ in the world, that we pattern our very lives after his own example. He who was poor, chaste, and obedient. Even St. Paul knew that there was something special about Christ's celibacy, the fact that he chose not to marry. And he presents that in the New Testament as something to be imitated, especially by the successors of the apostles in the priesthood.
All right, Father Aquinas Guilbeau from Catholic University, thank you for enlightening us on that.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.